Bore da, croeso I Gwasanaeth Dalliad. Good morning and welcome to our celebration assembly. It's been wonderful this week to welcome back our foundation phase pupils, and there's been some brilliant online learning by our Key Stage 2 children. So let's find out who's won a golden wristband this week. Starting in the nursery this week, and Miss Owen has chosen Harlan Dawson for settling well all week long and spotting lots of new spring things outside, and Scarlett Cummings for settling back into nursery really well and exploring all of our lovely activities. In reception this week, Miss Harries has chosen Noah Golding for settling into our class really well and for following the Windsor Clive way. It has been lovely seeing him build friendships with other children this week. And Darcy Donnelly for trying really hard with all her learning this week. She's approached everything with a big smile on her face. In Miss England's class this week, she'd chosen Ruby Lee Matthews for settling back into our classroom routine so well and trying really hard with all of our learning activities this week. And Esme Chappell for settling back into our class and our routine so well, remembering the Windsor Clive way and trying her best in all her learning activities. Miss England is particularly amazed at her observational painting of a daffodil this week. In Year 1, Mrs Jonas and Mrs Lace have chosen Isabel Stewart for having such a positive attitude to school and trying hard in everything she does, and Zane Bevan for always being such a happy, kind and thoughtful member of the class. He has come back to school with such a positive attitude and tried hard in everything he does. In Miss Turner's class this week, she's chosen Amelia Harris for an amazing attitude to everything she does and following the Windsor Clive way every day, and Kobe Ryan Carey for enthusiastically partaking in all we do and always being ready to learn. In Year 2, Mrs Lansing and Mrs Prothero have chosen Conan Cox. He has made a great start to our class. He is making new friends and has joined in really well with the group work. And Grace Roberts. Grace has settled into our class really well. Grace always follows the Windsor Clive way and is always ready to learn. She's worked really hard this week. In Mrs Thompson's class, she has chosen Caden Pace Kajidi for his excellent effort this week with his phonics and high frequency words over lockdown, and he's now moved up 4 reading levels. And Jessie Bewick for working really hard during the lockdown and shown increased confidence in class with reading and maths this week. Well done. In our wellbeing class this week, Mrs Harris has chosen Christian Seward for doing all the work on Google Classroom and looking after the well-being of other people. In Year 3, Mrs MacDonald has chosen Riley John Williams and Junior Thomas for completing lots and lots of work on Google Classroom this week. Well done, boys. In Miss Reynolds' class this week, she's chosen Aaliyah Griffiths for excellent effort in logging on to Google Classroom every day this week. Well done. And Abu Bakr for logging on to his Google Classroom this week and having a go at the activity set. Also for asking for help when he needs it. In Year 4, Miss Howard and Mrs Fancourt have chosen Sienna Cummings for excellent effort this week with all her home learning, and Christopher Schwellerer for excellent effort and participation during our Google Meets this week. Mrs Monaco has chosen Javia Rahman and Lexi Burke for learning how to use Google Classroom and excellent effort with their work online this week. In Year 5, Miss Coslet has chosen Lara Rock for going above and beyond in literacy this week. Lara has been working really hard on Google Classroom. And Ellie Jones for working really hard on Google Classroom this week and giving excellent effort in her maths work. In Miss Morris's Year 5 class, she has chosen Tanea Healy and Ninian Roberts for giving excellent effort for completing activities every day this week online. Over in Year 6, and Mrs Mings has chosen Lewis Zeng for being self-motivated and always giving 100% effort to every task. He has even started to use our accelerated reading programme independently at home. Well done, Lewis. And Zayara Richards for working hard on her literacy work this week. She has written some great rhetorical questions and detailed descriptions about Wales. And in Miss Cruise's class this week, she's chosen Nevaeh McGee for working hard on her literacy work this week and finding great facts out about Wales. She's completing her tasks so well every day. And Hallie Mount Stevens for being self-motivated this week and logging on every day. She has been working really hard on her maths and persevering. What an excellent first week back, everybody. Well done, have a lovely Friday and a great weekend.